All right, it's time to interrupt that conversation with another conversation, and that means that Jarret's here to talk about other things that we weren't talking about previously. How are you, mate?
Good. I'm really happy to be here to talk about other things that you weren't previously talking about.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're watching this on video, it's a fresh conversation. So welcome to Jarret's PE class where we talk about home entertainment.
Sorry, Glenn, what was
Indeed.
it we were talking about before? Just remind me. Just
Oh, good one, Grandpa.
And that's when you put the flashback effect in and you just like play back the last few bits of dialogue.
No, he forgot about the whole subreddit conversation we just had and the fucking intro throw to socials and all that kind of shit. He's
Oh
just he's
yeah,
just an old man and he's cantankerous.
that old chestnut.
I'm
Speaking of
ready.
Reddit though, and home entertainment, I did read something on Reddit that was interesting. It's just recently been announced that Refuse Films in the UK, which is a new sort of upstart label, the guy that basically did Eating Miss Campbell and My Bloody Banjo, he started a distribution company. So he's releasing a couple of trauma titles, Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, and then the last one being Cannibal the Musical. And so he's just announced these and he's gone to town in terms of putting together the most comprehensive releases of these films. Although the Toxic Avenger only Blu-ray and there is a 4K in the States, his Blu-ray release has like every cut imaginable of the movie, the Japanese cut, the theatrical, the director's cut, and an abundance of archival and brand new special features. But the interesting one was Cannibal. He announced that Cannibal the Musical and the internet went wild for it for about 5 hours until Vinegar Syndrome came out and announced that they would be releasing Cannibal the Musical also. And that's when he went on Reddit and basically was fielding questions because people were like, why are there two versions of Cannibal being announced simultaneous? And apparently Vinegar Syndrome weren't due to announce theirs until November, but decided they would
He
jump in on
forced
the
their
news.
hand.
Yeah. And then reportedly, some of the retailers, online retailers like Orbit and Diabolic, were contacted directly by possibly Vinegar Syndrome, advising not to import the UK release, that they'll be releasing the US release. And, it's essentially in their best interests not to do so. Yeah, anyway, it's
dirty pool from Vinegar Syndrome.
yeah, it's
Fought
weird.
like assholes everywhere.
It's the boutique wars all over again. Like we had it with Code Red and 88 films. Now we've got it with Vinegar
Does
Syndrome and
does
this
one
new
of those
label.
releases have better features like
Well, Vinegar
exclusive or
Syndrome was so quick to announce theirs in they haven't announced what's on it,
yeah.
what the transfer is, how it's been sourced. Because the thing is, obviously, the negative for this film's long lost. It's completely lost.
Yeah.
But what Refuse have done is they've got the best quality available master from Troma, which was like the Betacam master. But then they've spent like about 6 months doing frame by frame correction on it to get it to 24 frames per second, to clean it up, to give it the best thing, as well as doing all of the, stuff you would normally do with film, removing like scratches and things like that from it, because, the tape master did come from a film master at one point. So they've spent all this time, but Vinegar Syndrome haven't said anything about their master yet. Plus, he's flown to Colorado. He's flown all over the States to speak with as many cast and crew as possible to put together some comprehensive special features. Plus, he's got all the archival stuff from Troma. And that doesn't just mean the stuff that's been on their releases. He's gone to Troma and gone through the archives, got the masters for the interviews, so they're complete and uncut. So rather than seeing that 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to see, say, the whole, 15 to 30 minutes of those interviews. So yeah, anyway, it's interesting, but the Reddit thread was really interesting because you get to see a little bit of how things are happening behind the scenes. But regardless, I really want to support, I've never been a massive fan of Cannibal. I am for Toxic Avenger and Sergeant Kabuki Man. I can never own enough copies of either. So I'll be ordering those, and I'm actually going to order Cannibal, more so for the special feature content.
I absolutely love Cannibal the Musical, and I think it's the greatest commentary I've ever heard.
That 2000, that commentary they did in about 2000,
where they kept taking shots all the way through, and by the end of it, you can't even understand what they're saying.
And is it Trey Parker that during the course of that conversation talks about his ex-girlfriend that I think left him for someone famous or whatever, so that's why he named a character after her. And
the horse, I think.
Anyway, the horse, that's it. Yes, it was the horse. That was, it's up there as one of my all-time favorite commentaries. But yeah, so anyway, look, folks, get out and support this new label and their releases. And apparently, there's a few more Troma films in the pipeline, and it won't just be, the A-list sort of titles from Troma. I mean, that always feels weird using the word A-list and Troma in the one sentence. But he is planning on, digging out a few titles that really haven't seen proper releases. So
Cool.
yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, that's happening.
Can I just ask, what's a Reddit?
It's a lot like a Discord. You'll have to ask Melzi about him.
The irony there is that he's the first person to actually introduce that name into the podcast.
Oh, there you go.
I don't recall that.
Cue flashback.
Yeah. You know what we should do? We should go to subreddit and take some of these conversations like they do on TikTok and talk about them.
and that's probably exactly the paraphrase conversation right there. Moving on to this week's releases, lads. There's a few coming out, but unfortunately, the bulk of these releases are coming out on DVD, and the bulk of those releases are brand new films that have come out theatrically in 2024. So wonders never cease and DVD never dies. But from Roadshow, we've got Sleeping Dogs, that thriller with Russell Crowe. We've got Kill, which is coming out as well, which I think you really enjoyed, the Hindi action film, Glenn.
I didn't really enjoy it. It was okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like almost up there with Monkey Man, but not quite. No, not at all.
Nowhere near Monkey Man.
Okay, well, there you go. All right, well, hence why it's only getting a DVD release. Anyway, that one's coming out. The Cleanup Crew. Now, this one I'm curious about because this looks like it could be okay. I mean, the cast is great, but I don't know. Just the title and the fact that the first I'm hearing of it is a DVD release gives me some sort of apprehension.
Directed by John Keyes, who we've had on the show. He did The Survivor with John Malkovich and Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, or whatever his name is.
Well, yeah, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers is in this one as
He's
well.
in
Must
all
have
of
been
John
a
Keyes'
package
movies.
deal.
Yeah, they work together a lot.
And it's got Melissa Leo, former Oscar winner Melissa Leo. She's in this, and Antonio Banderas, of course, who's destined for sort of almost DTV. Some of these films are getting theatricals.
He crisscrosses between Indiana Jones and this.
and Puss in Boots or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah. I heard if you go and see Puss in Boots in a cinema, that it's recommended that you go to the Bubs and Mums session because what happens in the audience is a hell of a lot more entertaining than what's happening on screen.
Yes, it's a viewer discretion to Tourette syndrome and all that kind of jazz.
I digress. And then Defiant Screen Entertainment, well, they deliver another DVD, of course, because I think they've got phobia of the high definition format, at least in a physical sense. They're releasing a film called Agent Recon, which is definitely a curio piece because
do not say it's not one that I would like. It's not one that I would
I
like.
know. I won't even say that. I'm just curious as to the film. I've not watched the trailer. I mean, Chuck Norris is in it. He looks beautifully airbrushed on the cover. Definitely looks like he's alive. He actually looks like he's in far better health than Beastmaster's Masked Singer in there. He looks like he's just like clutching on for life.
Did they just take his best moments from infomercials and cut them into a film?
Like
did it?
I don't know. Good old Chuck Norris. Like, I know that it had been a number of years between films for him, but he's coming back strong. He's obviously got this DTV actioner, and then he's done that rather awful-looking Vanilla Ice zombie movie that's coming out at some point in time.
Vanilla Ice in that film? Because
I wish. I know. I think Chuck Norris is actually doing method and playing a zombie in it as well, so I don't think he's going to have to stretch his creative acting muscle in it. What's that?
Did you say he was going method or he was doing meth?
Might have been doing meth. They shot it on the Gold Coast, so I know that there's a big drug scene up that way.
I just reckon now that they've got enough footage from Walker, Texas Ranger, that they can put him into the AI machine and just make him do anything they want.
Like, that's right. They just convert that ab sculptor into like some kind of bazooka.
This may actually be on topic, and no doubt you guys have probably spoken about this or are speaking about this on this episode. But did you read about Lionsgate selling some of their digital library rights to an AI company so that AI company can take stuff from the library and develop new content with it? So that includes like likeness rights for certain actors. people that had probably signed off likeness rights because they thought, well, it's only going to be used for a poster or something. Yeah, no, it's curious. I don't know what'll come of it, but I mean, yeah, Lionsgate, they do a lot of good, but yeah, they've done some things, unspeakable things, and this sounds like it could only lead to films with like Ian Holm, like Alien Romulus characters, or Peter Cushing from whatever it was, one of those Star Wars movies. Anyway, I don't know. It just spells disaster for me, but that's happening. Then Mad Men are releasing Kiki's Delivery Service in a 35th anniversary edition, actually. Now, I haven't gone through the special features with a fine-tooth comb, but to me, from the outset, it just looks like it's a repackage of the existing release, except they've put a slipcase on it and a few art cards. So it's like they've seen what Umbrella or Imprint are doing, but don't realize that you got to actually, put a new product in there, something that hasn't been in the marketplace for 20 odd years or anything. But anyway, that one's coming out.
Or is it just Blu-ray?
Just Blu-ray. Yeah, just Blu-ray. Yeah, I know. It's strange, isn't it? Yeah. And 35th is such like a cash grab anniversary as well. It's like something that I would program at Monsterfest going, hey, but Ben, it's the 35th anniversary.
Anime fans will lap anything up.
We play it.
Yeah.
But anime fans, exactly. And anime fans still pay good money. So it's no surprise that Mad Men are doing it. They're moving on to Viavision, who do have a release that you are going to be very happy about, no doubt, Glenn. And that's Beverly Hills Ninja is making its local Blu-ray debut as well as DVD. It's been out of print for far too long.
Modern day masterpiece.
And I'm so glad that Viavision have got it and doing it, and it wasn't one of the titles that, Shock had licensed so many Sony titles and put them out in the marketplace with really bland masters, some of them broadcast masters, some of them barely SD to HD upscales. So I'm glad that Viavision are doing it. It's a shame they're not doing it as part of the Imprint line, because I could have done a really good video essay for that one.
It could have opened up a whole new direction for the Imprint line.
Oh, totally.
Beverly Hills Ninja movies or Beverly Hills action films. Like the Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Down and Out in Beverly Hills, yeah.
And Beverly Hills Madam.
Beverly Hills
not
Brats,
a comedy, but still go well in there. So, yeah, no, I'm excited that they're doing it. They're also doing a reissue of Bend It Like Beckham, which I have a feeling, Ben, you're a bit of a silent fan of that one, aren't you? Keira Knightley,
yeah, I do quite enjoy that film, and
he quotes it quite often.
Archie Punjabi, who I'm in love with.
Yes. Well, there you go.
Archie. She's in The Good Wife. I don't know what her last name is.
Oh, is that who it is?
She's the older sister, the one who's getting married in Bennett.
Oh, yeah. I've only ever seen this movie once, almost 20 years, whenever it was that it came out. And I enjoyed it. But yeah, I didn't realize that. Now I've obviously since watched, Good Fight, Good Wife, whatnot. So yeah, okay. Well, now I do like Keira Knightley, so it'll be a joy to see her. I mean, she's practically ageless. I mean, I watch her in I don't even know how old she is. She just looks forever young.
It's like she's having whatever Keith Richards drugs are. I saw a great meme today with Keith Richards and his daughters, and the thing was, when they die, Keith will inherit all of their belongings.
Good one. That's a good one. Okay, so the next distributor is one that no doubt Ben might want to weigh in, because I know that he had a lot to do. In fact, I'm pretty sure he produced the entire release. So Umbrella are releasing Christopher Smith's Triangle on Blu-ray, which has been out once before through Icon, but it's coming out now through Umbrella in this spectacular special edition. Now, Ben, tell us a little bit about this one, because it did have archival special features that you've been managed to this release, but you've got an abundance of new special feature content.
It's got all the archival extra features that came out on any of the previous releases, and it does have. So it's got two new commentaries. One from producer Chris Brown, with moderated by a screenwriter who's Shane. It's one of the two Shanes, and we're working with them, which is embarrassing that I can't remember. It's not Shane Krause, it's the other one.
Shane Jacobson.
Shane Armstrong? No,
Shane Bourne.
I can't remember. He's going to kill me when he listens to this. I can't remember what his last name is, but it's Shane. His name is Shane. And then there's a second commentary with the DOP and the production designer, which is great. It also got 2 new interviews with the producer Julie Baines and Christopher Smith. And there's a video essay on nautical horror that Alexandra Heller Nicholas put together. I think you edited,
No,
you edited that
no.
one for me? No.
No, I didn't do that one. No.
No. Then that
I had to think though. I was like, did I?
did you do
No, I didn't. I didn't do that
Oh, I
one.
think you might have been busy for that one. So I think
Yes. Yeah.
I think I got Jonathan. I must have got Jonathan Nickel from
Jonathan
the,
Rhys
Chris
Myers.
Myers, yeah.
You managed to borrow him from the director, Mr.
Look,
Keys.
I tell you what, he's tricky to work with, but you don't work with him because he's easy. You work with him because he's available.
And did he say, "Do you mind if I get naked in this one?"
Yeah,
They used to like me naked in the 90s.
perhaps it was very. I don't mind. I've got great abs. It was great, but yeah, look, it's and there's the cover is glow in the dark. The limited
Oh, is it really?
from, that you can find at the Umbrella web store is it has a glow in the dark element to
Which
it.
means it's the only movie you can find when the lights are off. So
Yeah,
That's
totally. Well, that and the House of Seven Corpses, which is around here somewhere, but I won't be able to tell you until it's dark.
You turn the light on. And yeah, look, it's got a whole bunch of new image galleries because Melinda Doring, the production designer, gave us her archive of
Cool.
stuff. So we got to lots of stuff, and Chris Brown gave us footage of them constructing the ship up
Wow, this
in Queensland.
yeah, this
They kind of built it half on the kind of wharf up there on a wharf, and they built half the ship, and they built there's a giant tank that they kind of built for the film. It's like this massive job, and yet the film still makes absolutely no sense because it is one of those time loop.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Like time
which-
crimes. Yeah,
which
yeah, I love it.
That one, which it's great.
No, I love it. And Umbrella actually just announced another 2 Christopher Smith films that Ben's produced as well. They're releasing Severance with Danny Dwyer, which I bloody love, and then Creep with Frankie Ponente, which I worked on a video essay for.
and yet they haven't done a triple pack.
No, well, maybe on DVD,
you've got to sell them individually. You've got to make the money while the money's there to be made, and then you can package
Maybe
them
we'll
down
do
the track.
you do the imprint thing where you release them on a triple pack on DVD, like they do, like all the Sean Connery
Yes.
films are like now. You're like, hang on a second, imprint release these in special editions on Blu-ray,
Totally.
like a DVD 3-pack of Woman in Straw and
Yeah.
the Molly Maguires and stuff. But we also got Black Death coming up, which has not been
Cool.
announced. That will be next year, sometime. I know you're aware.
Oh,
of
those two
the horror-
are January as well. Those
those two are
Creep and
January,
Severance.
those two are
Yeah.
January. And Black Death is a bit later on. But I know Glenn's aware because I borrowed all his DVDs to rape them of their extra features.
Yeah, I remember doing some.
Well, you could have said mine them, but
some archival.
I like to be controversial.
Some archival stuff for Triangle as well, moving that on. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to receive my
by the way, Ben, you can
contributor
keep them.
copy. Yeah, Glenn's like, keep them.
Yeah, that's right.
Send me the Blu-rays.
Well, he's after what he's done to them.
Yeah, true. Ooh. There's another couple releases that are coming out from Umbrella, and again, all feature-packed releases. There's Thesis, which is making its 4K global debut. I know Severin have since announced they're going to do a release. I don't think they've been specific as to whether they're doing Blu-ray or 4K, but regardless, Umbrella's first to market with their 4K release. Have not seen this one, but it comes under high recommendation from Ben. So I'm definitely getting a copy of this one. There's Intruder that's coming out, the Scott Spiegel slasher film, which I'm really keen to check out this release. And I'm really confused. I've been meaning to do some reading because I do currently have the Blu-ray, but I have the 88 Films release, which I believe is the theatrical cut. I'm not 100%, but it had been restored from the original negative, which I believe is the one that Umbrella are doing as well. But then Synapse in the US have the director's cut. It's all, and I don't know what the difference is, and it's very confusing. All I know is that the new Umbrella release is loaded with special feature content, including the short that they shot as like a proof of concept or whatnot, and then was
Cool.
later developed into the feature. So I'm excited about that one. There's The Isle, so a bit of world cinema, genre cinema coming out on Blu-ray. And then the last one is Hell House Collection, which they're releasing the 4-pack of all 4 films together.
I was going to say, do you know that Intruder is a full moon film?
Yeah, it's technically full moon. Yeah, it's because it was shot. I think it was like similar to the Empire films that were acquired by Charles Band.
Yeah.
Like they're technically they fall under that, but really they were kind of like an independent production. Because it would be the first. Because like what Intruder's like 87 or so. Yeah, by Charles.
By Charles Band. So whether it's Empire, full moon, or falls in between, it's still got that band stank on it.
I think he must have. I reckon he purchased it, hit it off the books when he sold Empire, and Empire was into MGM or whatever, and before he'd started Full Moon, because he loves to start something, sell it, move on to the next thing, and then obviously Full Moon Entertainment. Maybe no one ever came calling for that, but the guy was one of the first, the pioneer of home video in the States with Wizard Video, and probably sold that one a little too early though. Anyway, moving on to the last distributor who's putting out releases this week. And again, they're all DVD, but they're actually all pretty exciting releases. There might be some future guests who have something to do with these films. From Eagle, we've got Sunrise that's coming out. It's got Sam Neill in it. Yeah, there you go.
It's Guy Pearce.
Oh, Guy Pearce. Sorry. For some reason, I thought it was Sam Neill when I looked at the artwork, and then I did read that it was Guy Pearce, and I was like, wow, I just watched Guy Pearce in Priscilla the other night. Admittedly, that was 30 years ago, but now he looks a bit more like Sam Neill.
So that one's...
When I saw it at your place last week, Glenn, I immediately was like, oh, Sam Neill. And then I looked at it. It's like Guy Pearce stole Sam Neill's beard.
I know. That one's from the guy that directed that Zone 414 with Guy Pearce. Like the
one. Is that the one that was the
New York?
Yes. The one that got sued for being too close to escape? No, that was Lockdown.
That was Lockdown, but this one was...
I know which one this is the one that was the rip-off of Blade Runner that you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce, he's in a lot of these ones. Thank God they're going to be doing Priscilla too. And he's going to have a prominent role in a proper movie. Not that this isn't a proper movie, because this isn't a cash-in of another movie or anything like that. But I don't want to speak ill of this film, just in case the director...
Let me just say, and I don't want to drag this segment on for too long, but that's news to me that they're doing Priscilla too.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Yeah, no, it got reported in Variety and that a couple months back. It's very exciting. I did an interview with the director recently, Stephen Elliott, for Imprint's upcoming release. We did it over the internet via Riverside, but I cut it together. It's a really compelling half an hour.
Cool.
I try and ask all the questions that don't get asked in previous, because, he's talked about it ad nauseum.
Did you ask if Terrence Stamp does come back, will he tuck this time?
Everyone's coming back, but I didn't ask about that. But we did have a lot of downtime while we waited for his end of the video and audio to upload, because he was in Spain, seemingly with a very slow internet connection. And there was a lot of off-the-record dialogue, not only about The Adventures of Priscilla 2, which is sounding really exciting, but also about Welcome to Whoop Whoop. And spoiler alert, apparently the negative is destroyed.
Oh,
apparently it was destroyed in a fire in France because the negative was there because he was cutting it in time for a screening. Anyway, there's a tawdry story behind that one. But
Susie Porter's beef curtains destroyed it because she didn't want it to be mentioned.
There's a whole other conversation about Welcome to Whoop Whoop that's not included on that hopefully one day we'll be able to use.
Glenn, maybe we'll get our dream and get to talk to Jonathan Shea.
Oh, mate.
And then just
you can talk about Roadhouse 2,
Forsaken,
Threesome.
Yeah.
Ask him how to pronounce his actual surname. Okay, so quickly,
Kelly Bundy on the show because they were married, and it's just to ask, how do you pronounce your ex-husband's
surname?
All right, let's do it.
Whenever I say it, it's Jonathan.
We're racing
the last two releases quickly: Monster Mash, Michael Madsen, Halloween, sort of. There you go. Looks terrible, but it looks like my kind of trash.
I will have a verdict for it on the end of the show.
And then the last one, The Black Mass, which is this one did the rounds, the festival rounds in the States, and I'm quite keen to check it out.
It's like an alternative take on the Ted Bundy massacre just before he got caught.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I'm very, very keen to check that one out.
You know how right at the end...
Facebook friends with the director, and I don't know how it happened. I just know when she started promoting the film, I was like, I'll keep an eye on this one, because we might look at it for Monster
Right at
Fest.
the end of his killing spree, he went into a sorority and just hacked it up. That's what
Yeah,
this is.
right. Oh, okay. That sounds
Is that real?
fantastic.
Wow.
That sounds like yeah, compelling viewing. But
Yeah.
anyway,
And,
look, gentlemen. Oh
the
yeah.
other, I was going to say it's
I
other
like that we're
name.
speeding through this
Because
to
we know
get
that
Ben out.
Ben's
Me,
alarm
He's
is
got a
about
heart
to go
out.
off.
For me, I was going to say the best thing about it is that it is finally it's a film called Black Mass that's scarier than Johnny Depp's haircut.
Yes,
The other
amen
one.
to that. Amen to that. On one last note, I kind of expect that there's going to be a Warner Brothers announcement of a nice 4K edition of that because they've been announcing Vacation, which I'm very happy about with Ed Helms, but they announced The Intern on 4K in the States, which again, I really like that movie, but does it need a 4K or do they need to get some more classics like AKA Bullet out of the library and onto 4K? But anyway, gentlemen,
Did
I
you
don't want to hold you
hear?
up any longer.
He's
I've
keeping it
turned my
stalled
alarm off,
himself.
so it's just the dog that may die, but it's worthwhile. I don't know if this has been announced, or I'm talking out of turn, and I was asked not to repeat this.
A few moments later.
That's it for me for this week. So until next time,
Stay
Stay
physical.
stay
physical.
physical. I think we did it.